Hey, my legion, how y'all doing? I got my sexy pop popcorn shirt on, and I got some. In case I get parched talking on the video, I got some Swiss dyed decaf tea with lemon. Uh, I believe these were $2.48 at Walmart today, or $2.49 or $2.50. I got them yesterday. It's fantastic. Well, anyways, I went to get the mail. I didn't get the mail till later tonight, and I got a package from my friend, my awesome friend on YouTube. They said rock and roll. She sent me a package. I'm covering up the address, and on the back right here, I'll show you this. I mean, because I won't show like the private stuff on the in the card she said, but I wanted to show you this. It says, "Hey, Merry Christmas from the Lady Fonzie." It says, "Loyal member of the Legion since 2013." Because I met you right around December of 2000 of last year, so it's been about a year. I remember you sent me a thing about meatloaf, I think. It was really cool in the inbox. And of course, YouTube got rid of the inbox. That figures, you know what I mean? But I was very happy to get this. So I mean, I'm going to show the front as soon as I take out what's inside. So let's do an unboxing video, okay? What she sent me is so cool. Now I know that your husband, Ray, who's a great guy, and he's on YouTube. He loves the zombie movies just like I do. And I'll be sending this to his timeline too. So this is for you, Damiana Rainwater, for your husband Ray, and for your daughter Aurora, they're a great family and great people. I'm glad to know y'all. You're my friends. Okay. Dang it. Anyways, Ray went down. I think it was in Memphis, Global Force Wrestling, and Jeff Jarrett was there, and he said that he talked to him, and he's a great guy, and he was kind enough to have them do this for me. It says to Jason, picture Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett, his wife. It says to Jason, signed Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett right there. Isn't that cool? What? That's him. Signature Jeff Jarrett and his wife, and her signature Karen Jarrett. That is awesome. Thank you very much. It's so cool that you went down there to meet a great wrestler. I never had a signature from a wrestler before. This is the first for me. I mean, we went to a wrestling show a long time ago, and Kurt Angle gave my dad the finger, but that was different. And that's cool that you guys took the time out, Ray, to have him sign a photo for me. That's awesome. Thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. And also, they sent a nice Christmas card. You know, I opened it because I watched. You know, I was watching the news. I got home, and here's the Christmas card. Now I'm gonna show you I said I'm not gonna read that right there. It says, "Wishing you the happiest of holidays and all the best in New Year." Yeah, it said Merry Christmas. That's awesome, and they got a little smiley face. Thank you very much, everybody, my friends, the whole They Said Rock and Roll family household. Thank you very much. This was so cool. And now that I got that thing out of the pen, I can bend this a little bit and I can show you better what they wrote, what was drawn on the envelope without. I don't want to show the addresses. She was kind enough to draw this cool Christmas tree. Isn't that a great drawing, right? And also on the stamps, hold this over a little bit and show you. They got the traditional Christmas stamps with the 3 wise men at top, and then they got 2 Janis Joplin stamps right there. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. And also, well, she's a great artist, and she drew this too. This is pretty good, a pretty good drawing too. It's pretty awesome, I think. You know, so I wanted to thank you very much for this cool autograph. That's, well, the 2 cool autographs. That is so cool. And whenever I did a video a little earlier for Oaken Mystic, and I'm going to put a review of this one thing I saw and something else on that for you guys. So talking about wrestling. A long time ago, they had a movie called My Dinner with Andre. And I saw it and I thought it was terrible. And it was like critically acclaimed. And then when I got in the Army in 1988, they had a bunch of movies about references to VHS tapes. And they had a movie came out in 83 called My Breakfast with Blassie, with Andy Kaufman and Classy Freddie Blassie in it. And it was their a spinoff on My Dinner with Andre, and I've been wanting to see it. I mentioned it on the video to Woody, and then I looked it up on YouTube, and they had the whole video on there. It's like an hour long. Well, it's 57, 58 minutes long. And I saw it on Roku after the news. I thought I'd do a review of it too. And it was, like a takeoff on Dinner with Andre was, they meet up in this place and it's their conversation between these two people over dinner. And My Dinner with Andre was so boring and pretentious. The critics loved it. I know Cisco and Ebert couldn't stop talking about it. And when they finally showed it on PBS, when I was in high school, I thought it'd be good. And I watched it. I watched maybe about, I watched something. I hated it. But I wanted to see My Breakfast with Blassie. And there's Andy Kaufman, who was the intergender champion. And he had the neck brace on him from Jerry the King Lawler. I'll get more back on that in a bit. And he's interviewing wrestler Freddie Blassie. And it's kind of like an interview, but it's kind of like, it's staged somewhat. And they have them eating breakfast again. And a lot of it's funny. Their waitress is pregnant, I guess. And Freddie Blassie was real nice to her. And he felt her belly and said, see if complimented her on the baby. And then when she left, she said, yeah, that's good. And I don't have to tip her that much when we pay our check. He's rough around the edges. They're very obnoxious to the other people eating around them and stuff. It's really funny. And then some of it is like some actual wrestling stories, like when Freddie Blassie was talking about how many times he's been injured in surgeries. I know he got hit in the eye with a hard-boiled egg and he lost vision in his eye, detached retina, and all this other stuff. Talked about that. And then, but some of it's like played for laughs and stuff like that, like them being obnoxious. And then towards the end, I don't give away any spoilers, but it's their breakfast, right? And it's at Sambo's. And I ate at Sambo's once a long time ago. And Sambo's became Denny's. Anyways, what happened? Word of warning, because I remember reading the review in that one book a long time. They said there was a part towards the end that was really gross and made the guy sick to his stomach. Yeah, it gets really gross towards the end. The last 20 minutes or so it gets really gross. This is a warning. I want to put the link in the description for My Breakfast with Blassie. I finally saw it. I've been wanting to see it since 1988. I finally saw it tonight, which is awesome. One of the great things about YouTube, because they keep complaining about copyright stuff on YouTube, but where else would you have seen that? Nowhere. And then after that, it goes to a video with Andy Kaufman and Jerry the King Lawler on Dave Letterman, and it gets uncensored. It's like a 18-minute bit. I'm going to put the link to that in the description also. And then Jerry King Lawler slaps Andy Kaufman, and Andy Kaufman goes back and yells and swears that, man, it's all uncensored. It's cool. That was on YouTube too. And, if anyone knows how Andy Kaufman, was Lotka and comedian, then he became a wrestler, and he was wrestling women in over 400 matches, something like that. He called himself the intergender champion, where he could, international gender champion, right? And he was undefeated. And then he decided to wrestle a man, Jerry the King Lawler, and then he got injured with the neck brace on. And the interview on Dave Letterman, while that My Breakfast with Blassie gets a 9 out of 10, it's very entertaining. And then the interview with Dave Letterman gets a 10 out of 10. And then, like, Jerry King Lawler was still typical Jerry, saying, like, they were both side to side. This was after the match, like 5 months after the match. And Jerry the King Lawler said that his mother wanted, Andy's mother wanted a girl, and Andy's father wanted a boy, and they were both satisfied. Just his sense of humor. And also, Damiana, They Said Rock and Roll, had a run-in with Jerry the King Lawler. I don't want to steal her story. She left to me in a comment. She should talk about her story with Jerry King Lawler in a video sometime. I don't want to steal her story, though. It's very entertaining, though. It's like, but I wanted to thank you very much for what you sent. This is so cool. So thoughtful. It's touching that, because he went to the wrestling event, and he was kind enough to have them sign something for me, too. See? And we talked about it a little bit back and forth on my Facebook page, but I was really busy at the time. I didn't have the chance to really talk to him about it. But I will definitely put this on your time book. on your timeline on Facebook, Ray. Thank you very much, Ray. Thank you very much, Damiana. And thank you very much, Aurora. You're a great, great family and great, great friends. I'm so glad to have you as friends on YouTube. I know Damian doesn't do Facebook, but that's okay. Her husband does. I'm glad to have you as a friend on Facebook, too. You're great people. Thank you for that and an awesome Christmas card. I thought I'd do a review of the Breakfast with Blassie, because I haven't seen it in a while, and talk about Dairy King Lawler, because he's from Memphis. And then they showed like promos that Andy cut from about insulting Dairy King Lawler, and he did like a Memphis, Tennessee accent. It's really funny. But he was trying to be the bad guy. And if you ever saw, there was a special they used to show on Comedy Central by Andy Kaufman. It ended up being him, just about him being a wrestler. It's kind of like on the same line as My Breakfast with Blassie, but I never saw My Breakfast with Blassie before. But it's very entertaining. Thank you very much for the awesome package you sent me. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for being my awesome friend. And I'm going to share this with Tony, too, because it's about wrestling, too. I think you'll like it. So until next time, everybody, please take care. My liege.